I'm Julia, and we are doing an Audacy check-in with Chance the Rapper. Such a big week for you. Your no songs here. We'll get to that in a second. Congrats on the success of your second Juneteenth event. You know, you had a great turnout. That's amazing.
No, it was incredible. Yeah, this was our second year doing it. We expanded the campus and went all the way down to 56th and basically blew up the event. Like had it really rocking and included a lot of cool organizations and initiatives out of the city. But yeah, it was something I had never seen before. 10,000 plus people, barbecuing, dancing, having good conversation. It was very, very important event, I think.
Yeah, for sure. And you're also performing at the BET Awards on Sunday. Yes. How you feeling about that?
I'm very, very excited. I do well typically when I perform for television. And it's
Why is like that? Do you put the pressure on, or is it just like
absolutely excited? No, I got to turn up the pressure because it's like, you know, I live to perform. I love touring. I love playing shows. I love playing with my band and, you know, doing special versions of songs for the tour. But like when you have a TV performance, it's just one song. So you have to put everything into it. And I typically have fun just putting together, you know, the arrangement for the show. So I'm so excited.
I was going to say, if you can't tell, side of that has to be fun.
Yeah. No, it's a cool thing. You get to reimagine it. You get to perform it for a bunch of new people because people that are watching TV typically aren't all going to be familiar with the song. So it's like it's a chance to reintroduce it to the world.
Yeah. Well, no spoilers. We're just going to have to see it.
It's going to be crazy.
Well, I heard the song and listen, I tried to find the right words to tell you how much I like it, but I was just like, this is it. This is great. This is art. And I love hearing you speak about it because it's almost like it's so detailed emotionally, lyrically, and artistically that like you left no room for error.
Yo, thank you. Yeah, that's been like the biggest goal in all the new pieces that we've been releasing. And the reason why I've been working with these visual artists from the fine arts world is to like help communicate the ideas that I'm trying to get across even better. We did it with Child of God. We did it with A Bar About a Bar. And now with the highs and the lows, it was the longest amount of time that I spent like going back and forth with an artist about what the intention of the record was and what we wanted to convey. And we always knew the song was going to be about the highs and the lows and about, you know, when you're at your highest highs and the lowest lows, but rather than, you know, comparing and contrasting it, kind of like showing the, you know, symbiotic relationship between the two, the cyclical nature of how you go back and forth between joy and pain. And I feel like, you know, we did that with the song. We did that with, you know, the visual art piece, and the video was the last part to connect the two. And we had so much fun shooting the video, going out to Venice, Italy, being at the, the world's largest art fair. Yeah, it was crazy. And imagine, you know?
Yeah, for sure. Well, you know, what I like about the song is like, obviously the writing is unique to you and your experience, but the concept is true to everyone, you know? Yeah. And did it start with the concept of wanting to do that? Like, how did this song start?
Absolutely. I think all the songs in my new stuff has been coming up with conceptually what I want to do, what I want to talk about, or some of the songs just visually what I want to display. And then I kind of take time to write it out. So me and Joey made the song last year while we were in Atlanta, and we were both out there for this conference thing. And we were just like, you know, it's been a long time since we had been in the studio together. So we just booked a session and we kind of just like, you know, talked about what we wanted to talk about and the highs and the lows and, you know, the ups and the downs are something that we kept like coming up with while we were freestyling. And so then we ended up making the hook together and then went off in our separate rooms and wrote verses out and then came back and it just lined up.
That quick? In one session you guys did that?
In one session we made the song. Yeah, it was crazy. But we knew from that first session though that it was crazy.
Yeah, that this is it. Like this is going to be a good one.
Yeah.
Well, I was going to ask, like, if you had to get into a certain headspace to create that song, because it's emotional, but like the fact that you guys did it in one session, like I'm impressed. Like that's amazing.
Yeah, no, me and Joseph are both in a place of like a lot of creativity and trying to like, you know, up the game in terms of how we communicate these ideas. So like once we aligned on the idea, it was like, okay, let's just go write this out.
Yeah.
pen to paper, and then came back with the highs and the lows.
What is your favorite piece of it lyrically?
I really love I don't know whether to call it the hook or the bridge because it switches places when it is, but there's a part where, I say, I gave all my vices a call, let's get together to talk about the highs and lows, the ups and downs, the friends that I had to hide to come around. They told me that I knew you always come around, come around, come around, come around. It's like this, that's that cyclical nature of the ups and the downs, the highs and the lows. Is you can't feel the highs of the world unless you feel the depths of the lows. And the same goes vice versa. So, it's about being at peace with the understanding that there's going to be lows, that there's going to be highs, and not like avoiding either one. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, I love that part too. Do you have a favorite line from Joey in it?
I think my favorite line from Joey is he says, the best things in life are on the opposite side of fear, which is just, the truest thing about this world is like we can't get to those things that are the best things in life or the things that we really want without going through, overcoming your fear or getting over whatever the inhibitions that you have about completing that next task or trying something new. You gotta go for it.
When you're in those low spaces, do you have a hard time creating, or are you one of those people that thrives in it?
I think when I'm in a low space, it is something I have to like motivate myself to get out of or motivate myself to be productive for sure. But I think what I've had to learn in the last couple of years is that as a writer, as a wordsmith, as a person that works in, the intangible job of making music, I have to always write. So whether I feel like it or not, whether I'm happy or I'm sad or I'm busy or I'm tired, whatever is going on in my life, I have to write. And I can come back to those works later and decide to publish them, put them out, record them or whatever, or just read them to understand, to evaluate myself. I have to be consistently writing.
The visual of the flashing text, I think, is so dope. Like, what made you fall in love with that and like kind of marry it to this song?
Yeah, so the first video that I directed last year around the time that I started making my new works, and it was a song called "The Heart and the Tongue." And I kind of wanted to, it being the first video that I made, I wanted to create a visual language or an aesthetic or like a thing that would permeate through all my videos so that it'd be kind of like my calling card to know that I shot the video. So,
nice.
So when I made that first one, that one and all the pieces I've been making lately, they're kind of like lofty ideas and very like not coded language, but a lot of metaphors and how I describe what I'm doing. That's just how I rap. I write in a clever way, but sometimes it can also separate the listener from being able to understand exactly what I'm talking about. So when I made The Heart and the Tongue and when I made Child of God and eventually when I made this song, The Highs and the Lows, I wanted to make sure in the video that when you watch it, you know exactly what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? And so it's also like, for me, a part of like my visual style. Like I learned a lot from Wes Anderson. I'm a really big Wes Anderson fan. He does this stuff called what do they call it? Planimetric symmetry, planimetric composition, which is like making stuff that's like really flat, or your subjects have like profile on them. And in order to make the words work, I kind of have to like make sure that there's a space in the middle always for those words to be centered. And
that's interesting.
Yeah. So I'm really into, like, if you can't tell, I could get really nerdy about the cinematography stuff. But like,
I was excited for you to get nerdy about that though.
No, yeah, I love it. I love composition. That's my favorite part of cinematography and framing. And so I just wanted to make sure that I gave this video is what they call like a run and gun video. It's not like planned out with a storyboard and everything. We kind of just set up the camera in the most beautiful spaces and then set up the composition and just shoot. And so I had to be conscious of that the whole time we were in Italy and Paris shooting it, just making sure that like there's space for what is the subject of the video, which is what we're saying, the words, the flash and text.
Yeah. Well, a remark that I really like someone made is the fact that they said he displays every lyric in the video and it shows how proud he is of his songwriting. Is that a part of it?
100%. I feel like I gotta be at the same time that while I'm making it easier for people to understand what I'm saying, it is a very vulnerable thing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, because everybody doesn't listen to raps or music to understand the words. Sometimes they just want the feeling, or they just want to know some parts of it. But when you give, the text on it, it makes people have to focus on what you're saying. And so
Well, it's almost like you're handing in your diary. You know what I mean?
exactly. And it is that, like, this is the first time in a long time also on this music, like since my very first project, since 10 Day, where everything is written down. There's no like punch cut verses. And so it's literally coming from my diary to the microphone, and then eventually, in order to release it, I got to make a video. So in every case, like, it's like from pen to paper to your phone screen or wherever you're reading it from, you're getting my intention behind my words,
God, and then you unveiled it at Art Basel in Switzerland. Like, that's
Yeah, crazy.
how was that?
Insane.
Like,
I
what was the reaction when you found out that you would be doing that?
I was very, very proud and excited. Shout out to Theaster Gates for one. So like I've been you know, working with Black fine artists and artists around the world to like create a better way to understand what I'm trying to convey with my music. And Theaster Gates is one of the leaders in the contemporary art world, and very respected Black sculptor, painter, artist, all types of things. And I had told him that I really wanted to be able to present at Art Basel, which people in the arts world know is very, very difficult thing to do,
Yeah.
and space to be in. And it's also like very few Black people that get accepted into that space. And so, this piece itself, and especially the video, are things that center Blackness in foreign spaces. So like you see me and my friends kicking it at the Venice Biennale, at a space where, it's just now that there's so many Black people winning the Golden Lion and being, respected for their art in that space. So when I asked the Astor to do it, he was like, "I'm gonna see what I could do," and he hollered at some people, and we were able to unveil there. But I had no idea that I had so many fans in Switzerland. I really don't go to Switzerland very often at all, but they showed up for the reveal, and it was a packed room. We actually had to do two showings of it, two unveilings, which is
That's
weird.
so
But
cool.
yeah, it was amazing. It was a very proud moment, and I think Giannis Davy Kabinga, the artist who actually did the visual piece, got to speak on what he felt in creating the piece, and so it was beautiful, to be honest. Yeah.
I love that. Is there anything else that's like on your bucket list career wise, already having achieved what you've done?
Yeah, I just want to be understood. I just want to be listened to. Like, I think like I want to just keep creating. So, I
Yeah.
mean, it's not, I mean, like, I have like, dream collaborations and like movies I want to make, and ideas that I see just like in the world. But I think my main goal is just on my bucket list is just to continue to create and continue to provide connection for people.
Where do you put your ideas when you come up with them? Is it in your notes app? Is it a vision board?
I have a vision board, and I have a notes app, and I have my journal, and then it's very like confusing.
It's all over the place.
Yeah, it's all over the place. But I try and comprise everything in those that notes app, yo. The notes app, for any artist, anybody out there that's a planner or anything, use that shit, because it is crazy. It is very, very helpful in planning and organizing your life, for real.
Is there anything that, I mean, and I'm not going to have you give anything away, but like pertaining to the next project, like something on the vision board that kind of inspired you in a way? And it doesn't have to be music. It could be like any piece of art that you're like, looking at this makes me want to do this.
Yeah, there's an artist named Hank Willis Thomas who I've been studying, and I actually got to meet with, and I think we're going to do something for my project. He's also a multidisciplinary artist. He does, I think, paint. He does collage work and mixed media. But my favorite thing that he does is he does these giant sculpture works of Afro picks, and builds them like outdoor installations. These giant
Cool.
12 to 50-foot tall Afro
Yeah.
picks, and just puts them up in Philadelphia. They're in other countries. They're all over the world, and I've always wanted to work with him. And once I started studying his work, it just made me realize, like, I want to create tangible physical things that can stay around forever, like statues and sculptures and stuff. And I could feel like I can use that in my music and use that in my relationship and my family and in other ways. But yeah, that inspired me a lot.
That's cool.
He's still on my vision board.
Well, congrats on everything. I'm so excited to see the performances, hear what you're working on next. And really quick, what are your thoughts on the new Beyonce?
It's amazing. I mean, I like to dance. So I'm excited to hear the whole album though, for sure.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much. It's been awesome talking to you. Chance the Rapper, good luck with everything.
Thank you so much, Julia. It's great to meet you.
You too. Have a good one.
You too. Take care.